Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Last Rites Topical. Again, if you want to give us a subscribe, that would be wonderful, and a like and all that stuff. But the subscribe, the big red button, it's wonderfully important. If you give that a hit, that would be lovely. Yeah, Jimmy Savile, The Reckoning, got a video up the other day. It will appear at the end of this. If you haven't seen that yet, thanks for watching that. So I thought it was quite a good drama with Coogan depicting Jimmy Savile. But the producers and the creators have come under a bit of criticism. It's one thing I did notice is that they didn't really tackle the BBC too much. They had the BBC going, "Oh, is there anything wrong?" And him going, "No, there's nothing wrong, lads. I'll break your fingers." And they're going, "All right, we'll give him another show." And are you sure there's nothing wrong? I definitely didn't do any of that. Give us a religious program. So they just kept giving him more and more programs, and they kind of knew what was going on, right? But didn't really investigate it properly. I noticed that. But the producers, I think the writer Neil McKay, producer Jeff Pope, and Charlotte Moore, the chief content officer of the BBC, were on a panel with Coogan. And yeah, they said, why didn't you go into also when everything was about to come out, the BBC shelved a Newsnight show, and the conspiracy is because they wanted to have this tribute show and they didn't want it ruined. Let's not ruin Christmas or whatever time of year it was. I don't know if that's true. Let's not ruin Easter over the massive pedo in your organisation. Then ITV come out with theirs. But McKay said, this is the writer said, it would have been a separate drama in its own right and wouldn't have belonged in the piece we've done. Make that then. Make the drama about, oh, we've done all this investigation, found out there's some funny business in Savile's past, lots of it, but we're not going to investigate. We're not going to keep doing the show. We're going to shelve it. Make a drama about that then. Hopefully someone will. I don't know if the BBC will do it. Weirdly, this was an ITV production made for the BBC. So it was a weird, I don't know, it's gone production companies and streams and all that. But they said they didn't have anyone on the shoulder. It wasn't like a new cover up. Didn't they get away with that again? He said, I don't think we did shy away from the BBC's part on this. It's very clear that people worked closely with them, supported the promotion from one show to another, and had warnings of rumours with people saying, I don't think this is the right thing to do. Very clear about that. Yeah, I think there could have been a little bit more on it. I think it is a fair criticism. I think you can just, because I think episode 4 was just kind of, not a lot was happening, and it was a bit unnecessary for the most part. There's 3 or 4 scenes that were good. The Big Brother. And then he's feeling very sad and irrelevant in his attempts to feel relevant. But you could have, instead of that, I think you could have gone into the BBC stuff a little bit more. Obviously they covered with like the Prime Minister getting warnings. She's like, well, we can't prove it. Obviously now people would just back out immediately. Go, what's going on here? That isn't how Thatcher talks. So she should have thought, this lady ain't for fucking turning, pal. That's how she should have spoken. That's how she did speak, from her heart. We're gonna have the Falklands and this lady ain't for turning, and then burp out sausage and beans. That's how she should have sounded. Yeah, and he's just making it clear there was no one over her shoulder. The writers and producers were all under pressure making something like this, and I get that, because I remember when it was first announced that they go, "No, how dare they make this program?" But it is an important, even if it doesn't say too much new, it's still good to have that visual piece of it, because a lot of people wouldn't have read that much into it anyway. Not like us, we know everything. I'm going to try and find the venue of his nightclub in Manchester in the next couple of weeks. I might have put up some little videos of that, and yeah, maybe over a little, just to see what these places look now and think about the shit that happened here. I don't know why. I just want to sniff in the cigar smoke from the 60s and go, oh God, that was a bit bad. That was a little bit bad. But yeah, what do you think as well? Do you think they should have gone in at the BBC a little harder on the show, or was it enough for now? And would you be happy if they did make another show that focused on that? Because I'd quite like to see that. The sort of not just that, but the police, the kind of bodged police investigations over the sort of 50 years, and the BBC's sort of more institutional mistakes might be good. And you don't even have to have anyone playing him in that, to be honest. You can just talk about him, right? I think that might be an interesting thing to see. Anyway, if you haven't seen The Reckoning, I do recommend it. Some people hate it, some people love it. I think it's good, and unless it's going to bring up awful memories for you, don't watch it. But if you're just interested in a nutcase, and if you're watching this from outside of the UK, it's not Jimmy Savile, it's Savile, and he was a creepy old nutcase that everyone's parents just thought, oh, it's just Jimmy. My parents would have done it. He was at Stoke Mandeville down the road. I swear, if he'd have opened a Fate or something, I'll have to ask if he ever did. If he'd have opened a Fate or something, I'd go, go on, can I take him for ice cream? And my mum and dad were going, go on, go with Jimmy. They would have taken a Polaroid, and while they're waiting for that to develop, he would have taken me around the corner and created even more of a monster than than my brain currently is. But not making too much light of it, of course. It is a horrendous thing over the years. Actually, I'm making you've got to make a bit of light of it. He was a nutcase, and was it clear that everyone should have known, or now we know? Now we know. You're kind of using that as a reference. I don't know, but the fact that he stayed in his flat with his dead mother for a week and kept her closed for years, and all the little hints. He'd say, and that thing again where he said, if I go up to heaven and St. Peter don't let me in the pearly gates, and I say, what about all the marathons and charity races that I did? I'll break his fingers if he says no, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Thought that was a great line. Just on TV threatening to break St. Peter's fingers if he doesn't get let into heaven because of all the, let's call it funny business. He did. And it doesn't matter if you gave him the keys to a girl's school on Broadmoor, the morgue. Oh, and the fans on the terraces, the lead saying, Jimmy will fuck you in the morgue. Don't worry about any of that, because he did some charity. He did a bit of charity. He built the school. If he's built the school, give him the keys to it, of course. That's what these boards were thinking of back then. But anyway, let me know what you think. Have a great weekend if you're watching this on Sunday, and if you're watching it another day, have a great day, whatever that is. Cheers. Give us a subscribe, and I'll see you later. We'll get some comedians on soon. We'll get some more interviews on very soon as well. So I've been a little busy. See you later. Oh, this is awkward. Press the button again, Carl. Let's forget the last 10 seconds happens. Anyway, thank you. If you want to give us a subscribe to The Last Rites, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.